Hello and Happy New Year, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Tamara Inzunza with Realty One Group Capital here in Alexandria, and I am excited to share with you the 2020 market update and the 2021 real estate market forecast. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So we started off the year very strong, and 2020 was rough. You know, we had a pandemic, we had civil unrest, we had natural disasters, we had an election, and we had so many things thrown at us. So I'm going to pull back and just pull out all of the points to help you see what happened nationally, and I'm going to bring it in to show you how we did locally. So we started off strong in the housing market in 2020, and then the coronavirus pandemic hit, and we were faced with a stay-at-home order in March, and then everything stopped. Now, immediately we were thrown into a recession. And one of the more memorable things that I can recall learning about is the fact that a recession does not equal a housing crisis. So one of the things that I learned specifically in March 2020 was we shared this graph that compared or showed you what happened with regards to home prices during the last 5 recessions. And as of March 2020, you can see that in 3 of the past 5 recessions, home prices actually increased. And now that we have all of the data for 2020, we were able to update this and take a look, and you can see that now in 4 of the last 6 recessions, home prices increased. And you can see how that deep dip in 2008 where people lost almost 20% of the value of their home, whereas in 2020 the gain went up to 7.3%. So that is a huge big deal, specifically when you're talking about the differences in the two markets. The previous housing crash of 2008, that was fueled by housing, and in 2020 our recession was the result of a health crisis. So also back in March, we started hearing the quiet whispers of the F word: foreclosures. Now, let me break this down, because in 2020 there were a lot of people actively waiting for foreclosures to hit the market. I had contract cancellations because buyers backed out because they thought the market was going to tank, and that just didn't happen, and here's why. First, take a look at this quote from Frank Nothoff, who is the chief economist at CoreLogic, and he says, over the past year, strong home price growth has created a record level of home equity for homeowners. The average family with a home mortgage loan had $194,000 in home equity in the third quarter. This provides an important buffer to protect families if they experience financial difficulties, and is one reason for the generational low in foreclosure rates. So if I could say one word that was really important in 2020, it would be the E word, which is equity. So here what you're looking at is the year-over-year gains in equity across the country, broken down by the states. And you can see that in the Commonwealth of Virginia, homeowners averaged about $22,000 statewide in terms of the gain in home equity. So let us see, when we see what happened with the state coming into the little bit more local, we can see that across the state we saw double-digit home price gains when it comes to median sales price. Specific to Northern Virginia, double digits, 10.1%, Central Virginia, 13.5%, and Southern Virginia, where it's definitely more rural, they saw 26.5%. Now let's come in and zoom in on Alexandria City. In 2019, the median sold price for a home was $532,750, and in 2020, that increased to $600,000, which was an increase of 12.62%. Coming down to the suburbs of Fairfax County, we started 2019 with $535,000 as a median sold price, ended 2020 with a median sold price of $580,000, which was an increase of 8.41%. So why didn't we see that wave or that tsunami of foreclosures? So here what we were looking at is the home price expectation survey for fourth quarter 2020, and this asks for each of the following possible post-forbearance outcomes. What percentage of these 2.7 million homeowners do you estimate will? Now, before I finish that sentence, I want to focus back on that 2.7 million homeowners, because this is what people were expecting. This is that tsunami that people were expecting. People were expecting 2.7 million listings to flood the market, and for the number of active listings to just skyrocket, and then we would have flipped back into a buyer's market. That did not happen. Now let's go ahead and take a look. 58% of the people who will be coming out of forbearance will resume their mortgage payments and stay in their home for at least 1 year. So that is 1.57 million homes that will not see the market in 2021. Going down to the pie, we have 24%, or 648,000, who will list their home within 1 year of exiting forbearance. Now that 648,000 number, that is not for the state of Virginia. That's across the country, okay? So nationwide, 648,000 people will list their home within 1 year. And again, we just saw how we were doing with regards to equity nationwide. So if these homeowners who are exiting forbearance are in an equity position, you're not going to see these properties come on the market as foreclosures. You're going to see them come on the market as traditional resales. And then for the last slice of the pie, 18%. Now we're down to 486,000 homes nationwide. They will receive a foreclosure notice within 1 year of exiting forbearance. So when we break that down, receiving a foreclosure notice is not an automatic foreclosure listing in the marketplace. So specific to Virginia, once a homeowner receives a foreclosure notice, there is still the opportunity to bring the loan current. And depending on which bank is involved, you may have the opportunity to do a short sale. And I can recall when I was helping homeowners do short sales during the last recession, for some banks, once you sign a listing agreement and put the home in the MLS, that stops the foreclosure process. For some banks, once you have an offer, that stops the foreclosure process. So you're going to see things where we've already seen things go differently with regards to distressed homeowners. We didn't have the option of forbearance in 2008 like we do now, and we had a foreclosure moratorium. So banks are going to be more open to helping out the homeowners because they don't want a repeat of 2008. And now that we're going to be having a new administration, you can bet your bottom dollar that the new administration does not want a flood of foreclosures into the marketplace as well. And chief economist at NAR, Lawrence Yun, said any foreclosure increases will likely be quickly absorbed by the market. It will not lead to any price declines. And why does he say that? Because there's such a demand for homes. And take a look at the supply and demand right now for Northern Virginia. You can see, take a look down at November, December. We are heading into 2021 with less than 1 month of inventory. So that, Lawrence Yun kind of nips it in the bud when he says, yeah, if we do see a foreclosure, it's going to be snapped up. So, don't expect that tsunami. It's just not going to happen. So everybody is asking now, what is going to happen with home prices in 2021? Okay, so what you're looking at is a graphical representation of differences of opinions on where we're going to land for price appreciation for 2021. And as you can see, not one entity is in the red. Okay, so across the board, the forecast is that prices will increase, home prices will appreciate in 2021. So one of the things that's very, very cliche is now a good time to buy a home? Well, take a look at this information and then I want you to determine for yourself. So if we take a $300,000 mortgage and today's interest rate of about 2.7%, that's going to put you at a principal and interest payment of $1,216.79. So if we take a forecasted price increase of 5.7% as forecasted by Realtor.com, and if we take a 3.4% mortgage, then that, 3.4% interest rate, then that's going to put you at $1,406 as a monthly mortgage payment. And the difference between the two is $189.21. So that's going to be almost $200 in affordability. And that's going to mean that you're going to have to look at lower prices. Okay. Now, is a 3.4% interest rate high? No, it's not. But if you're used to seeing rates in the twos, then 3.4% may make your skin crawl. So just be prepared and use this information to help you make the best decision for you and your family. So I want to show you how I can help you. So I want you to make sure that you are visiting my website, movingtonova.com. I also have my winter buyer and seller guides available on my Facebook page. So you can download that. If you're on my website, visit the blog, and there's no registration because a lot of times people are specific to the month of January. People are laying out their plans for 2021, and they may not be ready to reach out to me, but they want to start gathering the information. So this is why I have these guides available. So make sure you visit my website to download that. This year, I am going to be raising awareness for down payment assistance programs. I am a Virginia Housing Certified Trainer, and I have been really absorbing over the past 2 months a lot of down payment information, down payment assistance information. So I'm going to be pushing that specifically on my social media, because with these increased home price appreciations, it's going to put the squeeze on my first time home buyers. And a lot of times people still feel that, let me bring myself back up. A lot of times people still feel that you need 20% down to buy a home, and that is just not the case. So stay with me on social media. I'm going to be increasing your awareness for these down payment assistance programs, because there is nothing wrong with using other people's money to buy a home. The money is there. It's already allocated, waiting to be used. Oops. And also, I'm going to be moving my first-time buyer workshops virtually. I've already done a few. And make sure you are following my new page, which is facebook.com/Bellinis and Buying. So right now, I already have my schedule planned out for the first quarter, and I'm going to be doing these twice a month on Sundays from 11:30 to 12:30. Only going to keep you for an hour because I know everybody has a lot going on. I may do them on Wednesday nights starting, so be on the lookout for that. Again, that's free, and I'm going to have a lot of this information in there as well. And if you are a past client of mine, or if you currently own property and you just want to keep your finger on the pulse of how your biggest asset is doing, make sure that you are signed up for my monthly emails that will send you a list of the properties that have sold in the neighborhood. This is everybody who has this, they really like it. It's not me bugging you. This is just something, once I specifically put your address in, it will send you this information once a month so you can monitor your asset. So again, the Bellinis and Buying virtual home buying workshop, I'm going to be raising your awareness with the down payment assistance programs. If you have taken advantage of the opportunity for a forbearance, and you are coming out of forbearance and you need to determine where you stand with your equity, I do provide you with a free equity assessment. And again, for the rental properties, make sure that you are getting those monthly emails. If you are selling and buying new construction, please give me a call, because I'm starting to visit new constructions once and twice a week. And this is a great option for people who currently own a home and they want to take advantage of the rates, or they currently own a home and they don't want to do a big renovation. They'd rather buy new. So again, you're taking advantage of the market. You're taking advantage of your equity with the new purchase. And with your new purchase, you're not being thrown into the market and competing with other buyers. So with that new construction purchase, you're giving yourself, the benefit of being able to customize and not competing with other buyers. So, and at the very bottom is my Calendly link, so you can check me out on Calendly and get me into your system so that we can schedule either a 15-minute tea with Tam, or we can schedule a listing presentation or a virtual buyer consultation. So I hope that you found this information helpful. Thought that I was bringing myself back up. I hope you found this helpful. I tried to keep it very short with a lot of visuals so that it was easy to understand. Please like this information, share it, tell your friends, and let me know what else I can do to help you in 2021. Thank you so much, and I look forward to helping you make that move.